fantastic. Thank you for that. It's on a minute in Singapore. Let's talk to the man who executed this deal. We have AIA's Chief Executive Officer, Makrtucker, joining us live this morning. Good to see you, Mark. Does it feel good? $1.7 billion being spent on this ING Malaysian unit.
Well, I think just in the context, Susan, I think what we announced this morning were two things. Was the third quarter results, which were the strongest results we've had in a record third quarter performance, and the ING acquisition. And I think both are continued good news. One is good news the business is continuing in strong health, and the other is that we're looking at the right spending for acquisition opportunities.
Well, you know, we've been talking a lot about whether or not AIA was going to buy up the Malaysian unit, the Indonesian, the Thailand unit from ING, or the whole conglomerate, really, the whole package. Why did you only decide to buy the Malaysian, I guess, the Malaysian part of the business for ING?
Well, there's been massive speculation and rumour. I think we've focused on the Malaysian business. It's an immensely strong business. It's the number 3 business in the country. It's 1.6 million customers. It's got a joint venture with Public Bank, the second largest bank in the country. Mm-hmm. It's a terrific asset, and I think very complementary to our own.
Right.
And that's really where we think the greatest value can be got.
Do you think you got a good deal here? $1.7 billion in cash sounds like a lot to pay up.
Yeah, I think if you look at it, the deal for shareholders is financially compelling. It's accretive immediately in earnings terms. It's accretive in cash terms. Again, the opportunities for growth and the multiples all look good. So yes, I think it's a very good deal financially.
Yeah. Now, what happened to your organic growth? I mean, you know, it just in the last few weeks you bought up this Malaysian unit now for $1.7 billion. Also, last month AIA agreed to pay $109 million for Aviva's Sri Lanka unit. You know, does this signify that maybe in order for AIA to grow, you need to go out and acquire right now?
I think we've said all along that we are 99% focused on organic growth, and if you look at the third quarter results, 22% up in value of new business, 17% up in sales, that gives you a good sense, 11% up in margin, that gives you a very good sense that the underlying business is where we focus. There are opportunities, and this is a rare opportunity. The quality of the ING business, the quality of the people, the quality of the agency is a very rare commodity, and we're delighted to be able to have this opportunity.
Yeah, is this the end of acquisitions for you, or is there anything else you have an eye on?
Well, I think the wonderful thing about, or one of the wonderful things about AIA is the strength of its balance sheet. We have one of the strongest balance sheets in the financial services sector globally. Yeah. So we can always look at growing the business organically, and if there are compelling acquisitions, then we will look at them.
So you have money to spend, basically. So what makes an acquisition compelling? You know, what made you decide to buy up this ING Malaysian unit? What looked attractive to you? A
number of different aspects. I think we look at strategically, is it consistent with what we're trying to do? Long-term growth, does it have opportunities in underpenetrated markets, and particularly in Southeast Asia? Will it add to the value of the business going forward? All of that strategically is important. And that's not enough. It needs to be financially compelling as well. Right. It needs to add value for shareholders, and that's what it does almost immediately. Yeah,
so this increases I think your market share in Malaysia now to a quarter of the market. Let me ask you this, across the Asia Pacific, which markets do you feel that you need to be stronger in right now?
All of them. I think there's plenty of...
You're being greedy if that's the case.
There's plenty of room and plenty of capacity to growth. We're now number 1 in 7 markets across Asia. And there's plenty of scope to do more. But I think AIA's in a very strong position. We're looking, as I say, our focus is on organic growth with acquisition if it makes strategic and financial sense.
Yeah. What's your relationship like with AIG, this I guess right now, because they've been divesting their holdings in AIA. They've done it again this year, billions of dollars being sold off. Is this still a long-term relationship?
Well, I think that's something to discuss with them. In terms of our relationship with them, it's excellent. They're a 13% shareholder, and they've been immensely supportive of all we've done. I think it's up to them what they'll do over time. Our focus is on the business. We focus on things we can control, not on things we can't control.
Oh, fair enough. And I guess you know, the share price is something you can't control because it's done pretty well. Does that mean you're going to increase dividend payouts back to your shareholders if that's the case?
No, the scale of this transaction locally is very significant and important. Group-wise is not material in a cash sense. So all we'll be doing is confirming and reaffirming our dividend policy.
All right, Mark, great to see you. Thank you for being a man of your word and coming in so early this morning. Makrtucker there, AIA's Chief Executive Officer. All right, coming up next, how the developing world will save the global economy. We'll be hearing from the World Bank President himself, Jimmy.